Yeah, the software is telling me I'm live, which I never really believe fully. So give me a quick message if I'm really live here for the ICC, streaming 1 hour of blitz chess, I hope. Yeah, I have streamed for 1 hour and 30 because I never won a game in that particular session. I hope that doesn't happen again. So I'm going to go for the 5-minute pool and see what happens. I haven't played a game of chess today, so I hope I'm getting off to a good start. Doing chess all day but not playing chess. Let's see. 5-minute pool on the way. I couldn't even watch the Shamkir tournament today, the Gashimov Memorial. I saw that So won his game against Mamedov in some Maroxy bind, but and Kramnik had a wild opening against Anand, but I didn't really look at details. I don't get a game yet. I know I get one against Igor. Who's Igor? Let's check that. David Strauss. David Strauss. This is an older I am. I don't see him. No name in there. I don't know this guy. Okay, I'm going for a King's Indian and see what we get. Classical King's Indian. Ah yeah, he goes with H3. Yeah, this is also a line that I sometimes play. And then G3. Even that I have played. This guy is copying me. Nah, not really. It's not copying me, but how do you play here? You take, I don't know. Yeah, I think Magnus Carlsen played a draw today against Mickey Adams in a Rui Lopez. Yeah, that looks a lot like a typical King's Indian fianchetto, but I'm not totally sure about this, how this is played here. Maybe rook b8 or something. Okay, knight e6, takes. He has e5, so I'm getting my rook out there. Yeah, Wesley So is leading this tournament now, which is maybe a slight surprise given that he had those difficulties in the US Championships. Okay, I'm going to take, and let's see, bishop e6 maybe, just trying to develop here. Yeah, white is certainly a bit better. That's not a very exciting position for the black player. Okay, yeah, I don't know, do I go knight d7 here for possible trades or not? I can also play c5 and b5. Trying to be active. I don't know if this is great. Okay, let's do it. c5, bishop e3 and b5. I don't know. Okay, wasn't sure what he was thinking about. He cannot possibly take on f6. Yeah, bishop f4 was the move that troubled me, but oh, he takes. Ah yeah, okay, maybe e5 now. Is that his idea? I don't know. On bishop f4, I always have rook b6. I can cover the pawn. Yeah, there's a question about the simultaneous event. I had made a wrong video announcement today talking about a simultaneous event. I had that last Sunday. Yeah, like 8 days ago. And, well, there will be a new one, but probably in May then. But this is only for ICC members. Yeah, hi there, Mercury and some new guys here. The final Zugzwang or Lachiniak. Difficult to pronounce for me. I'm sorry if this is totally wrong. Okay, he went e5. Interesting move. Okay. Knight h5 maybe. This can be a problem here, right? I don't know if e5 was so was a big problem here for me. If I can get to take on f4, it should be fine. Yeah, this is just a normal blitz session, about 1 hour. Yeah, I had one that lasted longer, but this was one of those where I didn't get a win in. I hope to break any kind of bad streak immediately with a win. Yeah, can I play the Catalan? I can, but they don't really allow me that all of the time. I can try. What is white doing here? Yeah, he probably did not think about knight h5. Yeah, hello, back to Haifa. This is in Israel, right? So we are very internationally set up here. Yes, I heard that Conan Crouch passed away. I did not know him really in person, or I don't know much about him, to be honest. I had one of his books at least. He wrote a book about the bishop f4, Queen's Gambit, some years ago. Okay, I'm taking f4. And well, knight b6, knight g2 is just good for black, I think. And yeah, here I think, well, I thought I can take e5, but still he will take b6, I see. So maybe just the rook here, right? Rook a6 to attack a2. Could you play a Petrov? Petrov is not one of the openings that I do play. I can try. I can try, but it's tricky. Yeah, I heard that Nigel did win the Thailand Open, the Bangkok, I think, Open. Yeah, that's an interesting tournament, this Open there in Thailand. It's something that I do consider to play myself. The only reason I did not do that yet is that I really hate flying. So, and this is a terribly long flight. A Stonewall, I think I'm more comfortable with playing. Yeah, hello also to Bayerischer Schweizer. I think I know who you are. Enjoy the blitz session. Do you think the K factor on ICC is too high? No, I don't think so. I think in blitz it should be a pretty high K factor. The ups and downs are funny. Yes, I saw. Well, what Nigel wrote there about women in chess, or women playing chess, that is something that is out of New in Chess magazine. He wrote that in the latest issue, and I read it when it was on the New in Chess, in the New in Chess magazine. And I think we had this this issue in a broadcast last week. And well, the thing is, I don't have any scientific knowledge there about this issue. But what I do think is that what they wrote there in the German newspapers, at least there was was something in the Spiegel, a very big German news site, and what they wrote there was, frankly speaking, just nonsense. They didn't really think about the subject or wrote about the subject. They just said that this is kind of sexist nonsense, and it isn't. It really isn't. I think that Nigel is probably in some way right, but it's something that is very unpopular, suggesting that people in some way are different, being it like the sexes being different, or people, I don't know, being different that are, I don't know, from countries, from different countries or so on. People are different. They are not better, not worse, but they are different. And this is definitely something that is tricky nowadays to say. Okay, because of political correctness, yeah, people want to believe that everybody is equal and so on, which is true, but they are not the same. Okay, let's see. What am I doing here? I've sacrificed the exchange. Let's go here. I don't want to trade stuff. Yeah, the Petrov is an okay opening for sure. What about this? I can go bishop d5 here, but he has queen g4. Rook d2. Nah, he's got checks there. I have to play a move. Yeah, let's be quick here. I only have 30 seconds, and I have no problem here with the exchange down. I have very decent compensation. I don't really see me winning this on position, but maybe there are some ideas. h5, bishop h3. Okay, let's do that. Trying to irritate him a little bit. But he can go all the way to f5. Huh? I just saw that. That wasn't a particularly great idea. What did I do here? I don't really see what to do now. I should have just made a draw there. I tried a little bit too much there. Okay, so let's see. The resolution of your stream is too high for viewing an old machines. Could you make a small res available? Yeah, I don't know. That's something for the ICC guys to say. I really don't know. I'm not a huge expert on Twitch. Okay, so let's see here. Black Ermel. Let's see. We got a Rui Lopez. Yeah, there is the long castles variation. Of course, knight c3 and long castles in the Petrov. It's just one of many lines. Nothing particularly threatening. Yeah, this guy here. Let's see what we get. He's probably not falling into the Arc Noah trap with queen d4, c5. Losing a piece. c3 is a draw though, if I take it. Queen d4 is blundering a piece. A razor sharp game, yeah. Yeah, about the subject of here, Nigel Short. He's playing a funny match against Kasparov just next weekend, so looking forward to that. It seems that Ermel here is kind of irritated here by this opening. I really wonder what he is thinking now. c3 is the way to go. Queen d4, c5 is blundering stuff. Okay, so maybe just bishop b7 here, right? Taking queen h5, maybe? Is this this is something? Bishop b7 takes queen h5. Okay, this is not a huge problem. Takes queen h5. It is an issue. I have d5. Strange stuff. Now I have not played the Horde variation on Lead Chess. I saw that Chess Network was playing that recently, but it's just nonsense. The pawns just win, so it's completely pointless game. Okay, so we traded here the rook there on a8. Yeah, this is one point. Yeah, he can get this check in f7 here and queen b5. But I didn't think it's a huge problem. What do I go here? g6. or d5. I was thinking d5 actually. So let's go d5. I don't know. I thought that the pawns should win this. But okay, it's not. I mean, I didn't invest time on this. It's not a very important point of chess education, this variation. Okay, so what do we have here? I don't know. He's moving his queen a ton of times. Queen e7 maybe for winning this pawn. I really want the pawn here, and I will get it, I think. Next move, I take it. Queen d7 was okay, yeah, but d5 was strong, right? I mean, I had knight f5 next, knight f6 next. Queen d7 was playable, sure. But this is a nice position. Okay, I will take now here. Yes, let's take. Yeah, Olegas, yeah, he's not playing at the time of day. He's usually playing during the day, so probably no Olegas in my live stream. Now probably he's playing half of the day, and the other half of the day is practicing rook against rook, trying to find a win there. Yeah, so what is this now? I'm going to take now here, right? How do I keep my pawn? Okay, I'm taking. c5, there is possibly, yeah, but okay, I have b4. Knight a3, I can play b4. I'm not well developed though. This is something to not forget. Yeah, it should be fine though. Yeah, Olegas is my personal nemesis on the ICC. I have a fantastically bad score against him. Like, I don't know, 15 losses, 2 wins or something. Which is really, really bad. I mean, it is just, it sounds bad and it is bad. I mean, he's the better player. I'm totally ready to acknowledge that, but I just, I mean, a blitz player at least. I'm totally ready to admit that, but my score is just not there. I never get anywhere. He has this rook against rook end games and stuff. I don't know. I don't know what I do in those games. Okay, rook a7 seems to be on the cards. Huh, that's so awkward. Tja, it's not so easy to win this position. At least I don't see it. He might try to attack my b pawn. I have b4, but that's not a move I like to play a lot. I particularly like to play. Here knight b6 maybe. I'm not completely sure how to play this. Rook a7, rook e8. Yeah, white's knight is not doing much. Yeah. Olegas is very well known on the ICC for this time plays and so on. So I'm not the only one suffering against him. To be perfectly honest, I once I once just for purely entertainment purposes, I did a search in the ICC games database, and I looked for all the games that Nakamura played against Olegas, and he totally destroys him. So it was very entertaining to see Nakamura destroy my nemesis. at one day I should try that myself, but I usually don't manage. Okay, so where do I go now? Knight c6, bishop c7 looks really awkward. Knight a6, kind of funky. Yeah, that was a good move. That was a good move. Yeah, let's get forward here. And possibly knight c5. Still has bishop c7. Well, it's still a bit tricky, and I only have 30 seconds. What did I do here? What did I do here with my time? 30 seconds, that's not good. But where is his rook going? To d5, probably. Let's try to prepare knight d3, rook e1 mate. That would be cute. Oh, I can't get this in. Okay. Rook activation time. Yeah, I'm in a good situation. Yeah, it's just that I have no time. Should probably, okay, that's good. He takes his time as well, so that's good news. Check him here, check him again, and then there. Cannot take b5 now, and now this knight is hanging there. Okay. Okay, maybe I get the b pawn anyway. No, what did I do here? I'm blundering my good pawn there on c4. Okay. Yeah, that was a pre-move fest. I won on time. Whew! I did not know what was going on there. Okay, so I want to look at the... let's check. Wow, I have many questions there. Something there. Yeah, how to improve... There's a question here by Alkfrosch, how to improve tactical play and your tactical awareness. Yeah, that's not so easy actually. What you can do is, of course, you can practice calculation regularly. Yeah, just the pure calculation point of things. There are some other things that you can do. You can try to play a little bit more aggressively in some situations. Let's say in blitz chess. Yeah, just do something a little bit more active and maybe trying to change a little bit of the opening repertoire that leads to sharper positions. And there's also studying games by very dynamic, active players. Yeah, you can go back in history, look at stuff by Aljechin, by Tal, or yeah, some of the classic aggressive players. Let's see, do I get some good game in now? The game before that wasn't that great. Yeah, practicing calculation, you can solve tactical puzzles there on various levels. For simple stuff, relatively simple stuff, you can use tactic trainers, online resources, or you can use books, of course. There are many good books on calculation. I can especially recommend the books by Jakob Agard. They are really excellent for calculation, also for other things. Yeah, playing blitz for tactics is a good idea. It's not bad. If you want to improve your short-term tactical vision, then playing blitz is excellent. It's not so great for improving your calculation abilities in let's say in complicated situations where there are many options. What is happening here? I have to check this. Bishop d4. No, he went there. Okay. I don't know that opening here. I mean, I saw that once, but g5, or how do you play that? g5? Funny line. There's a question. Do you think the Mora gambit is playable versus e4, e5? Do you mean the Danish gambit, like e4, e5, d4? Playable it is. It's not leading too much, but you can certainly play it. It's about equal. Okay, what is this? So if I'm taking bishop d2, yeah, he's got some quite substantial pressure here. Maybe bishop here, attacking the d6 pawn. Tricky. What now? I can go g3, but I'm not sure that I want that. Bishop d2 maybe. Let's go bishop d2. Yeah, I do have a chessboard, but I don't use it very often. I do 95% or so of work on the computer, maybe more. My favorite unsound gambit, I don't know. I don't play unsound gambits. I know the Haldane hack, yes, it's some French line, I think. But nothing great, I think. Yeah, so what about this game? This is an interesting position. He has played in a very active way, but I have some strategic gains in this position. Some play against d6. I have g5 as a nice pawn that limits black's play. I don't know. This looks like nice for white. I think I can try rook d2, rook d1. And now, I don't know. Does he have a4, a3? Maybe he has, right? Maybe he has a4 here. Okay. So he tries to do what exactly? Bishop f4? I don't know. Okay, I'm just putting this on the d file. Yeah. I played some unsound gambits, of course, on Chess Cube in those crazy tournaments. Sure. Now, but this is a different situation. You have to win quickly in those tournaments. When I was played. Interesting. What about this check there? Isn't this good? Yeah, that should be good, right? Gaining the bishop pair here and asking him what he does about the d6 pawn. Should do that. Yeah, and now e8. Let's take that. Yeah, and I will give the exchange back here, of course, to get through, to break through. Rook takes d6 just for one. I have a pawn then, but a very nice extra pawn. There was a question if there is a natural limit for some people, and if there is a limit, what it is. I think that 1800 is a rating level that is reachable for probably almost everybody, but it is something that is not possible to get without very intense training in cases where you are not like a super talented player. There are people who really have an enormous talent for chess. They get to very high rating levels without doing anything, or very little, let's say. and in other cases it's a matter of hard work. Yeah, I was angling for that. Rook e5, I go bishop e3. I keep my pawn and control. This was more valuable to me than the other position with the exchange where he could struggle. Yeah, I think there was a discussion recently on Reddit if there is a natural limit for some players, some people in chess, and there was some person posting that 1600 is what he can get and not more, and whatever he does, he tried everything, whatever. And I agree that there is something about this, that there is a kind of limit for everybody, but it's not 1600. Nobody's limit is 1600, so it's definitely higher. Hard to tell what it is, but it's higher than that. Yeah, given that you really put in time. I'm not sure what the guy is doing. Is this a disconnect or something? I don't know. Let's check there. No, it wasn't. Now he played. Okay, I have bishop d4 or bishop e3. I'm not sure about what I should do. Yeah, I can put this up as well. Bishop f4, bishop e3 is fine. And I need the king anyway. I can play e4 next white game, yeah, for the Mora or something. Bishop a4. Okay, let's put this up. It is clear if someone wants to get to a rating level, let's say, of 2000, and he really has very little natural talent for the game, that he has to invest hours and hours and hours. And but then it is possible. I mean, it's really, this game is so rich in possibilities and all kinds of things that you can learn. I mean, not just really, I don't know, I mean, learning in terms of looking at stuff and trying to really remember things like patterns especially. Yeah, this is nothing that comes like out of the blue, knowing patterns, knowing how, let's say, a particular game was played. Well, I very often come across situations in games where I think, okay, this is like a game, I don't know, Aljechin in Capablanca with 2 tempi up or something. And this is stuff that anybody can learn. It's just a matter of time. Yeah, for some people it's easier to remember things like that, and for some it's trickier, but you can definitely get there. Anybody can get there. It's just a matter of how much time are you willing to invest. And this is often the deal. Okay, so I'm a bit surprised that he allowed me this protected pawn on e4, but okay, now I'm going rook on the g file, trying rook g4. Yeah, he can check me, or I can go e5, but that blunders stuff. I can also do this and put the bishop on d5. That's also a good idea. It looks really quite nice. Yeah, nowadays the possibilities are really great. Yeah, in terms of improving in chess, you have great books. Yeah, compared to what we had, let's say, in the late 80s. He resigns that. You have great books, you have videos, you have YouTube, you have things like the ICC online chess service. Great stuff, really great stuff. So nowadays you have all the ideas right there in the internet, let's say, or in books, of course. A serious question. What would the ideal clock what would be your ideal clock situation for a game? Well, it depends, of course. My preferred blitz time control online is 3+1. Yeah, someone writes that. It's Final Zugzwang. 3+1. I think this is good. The 3+2 is the official FIDE blitz time control. And 3+2 is, of course, also fine online, but you can just move quicker with pre-moves, so I think 3+1 is totally okay. That's even on average probably leading to quicker games than the 5-0 time control. So It's not that people could complain that this is not blitz chess anymore. Yes, I've got the Grandmaster repertoire books, but I cannot say that I read them. The book on top. Yeah, that's D4 volume 2, yeah. You're right. Okay, I'm going for... You guys wanted to have some kind of attacking game or some kind of gambit. Okay, I wanted to play the Banco, but now you get the trompe. Also interesting. Yeah, you say one stream where you play outside of your regular repertoire. Yeah, I can do that actually. Why not? It's a funny thing. But this thing is already 30 minutes in. Let's do that next week. Next week I'm going to play an out of character stream. Okay, I don't know this opening at all actually. Is e6 a move? I think bishop d6 is something here. That looks really weird, right? Let's try that. The Grandmaster repertoire books are excellent, of course, but they're difficult to handle, I think. It's I mean, it's difficult to learn because they are so complicated. Sometimes I really wonder why. I mean, I just sometimes think that less is more, right? Or something simpler would be easier. Okay, so what is this situation here? It's kind of strange. Do I go e5? I have a very funky looking knight on d6. The knight there, that looks strange, but maybe I can play. Let's see. Maybe I can play the f pawn, play knight f7 or something. Okay, he's going for knight to f2. I don't know if f5 is an idea. Yeah, I think. Come on, I almost played knight f5. f5 makes sense. There's a question, a source to learn bishop e3, knight g4 in the Najdorf. That's an interesting question. This is currently almost the main line against the bishop e3 variation in the Najdorf. I don't know if they have it in a book. There's a book by Andresian. Zarvin Andresian, I think, but I'm not totally sure if it has this this line. On the other hand, you know, nowadays, if you are a player who's interested in such a complex opening as the Najdorf, yeah, then well, get yourself a good engine, a decent computer, and do a database crunch and write it on your own. I know it sounds a bit strong, but why not? Yeah, nowadays with computers you have all the tools that you need, and why should you come to other conclusions than the people writing the books? Yeah, just look yourself. Just look for yourself. Very often the things that are presented in the books are mostly just the #1 lines by the computers. Is really the case. For example, if you look at those books by Boris Avrukh, they are great, but if you look at them closely, most of the time he just quotes the #1, the first line of Houdini. If you really check the books with Houdini and all the novelties that he's giving, they're all the #1 moves by Houdini. There are only some very rare exceptions where he's getting in something that the computer is disliking. So there's really no big... Well, you can do it yourself. So just try to make your own theory, let's say. Look at the games and try to find new ideas yourself. I think it's doable. Yeah, I'm trying for queenside play here while I was chatting away. Let's see. Yeah, b5. He had put his bishop there on e6, which is looking nice, but, well, I don't know what he's doing there. Oops, sorry. I need some water here. Yeah, f4, yeah, he opens up the position. I can play e4. I'm not sure if this is any good though. Let's do that. That's at least a little bit more interesting than taking. I'm sorry. How long do I let how long do I let the computer run for a move? I cannot really tell. It's it really depends. It really depends how complex the position is. Okay, I try to open up the queen side here. There's really a question about the water that I'm drinking. It's funny. I usually really drink tap water, filtered tap water, but I'm very often doing my grocery shopping in one of those, I don't know how it is called in English, one of those markets that specializes in organic food. Is this the right word? They had a water there, kind of weird stuff that I wanted to try out. It's just water, you know, but I was curious. It's just really just water, just a weird brand. Yeah, what many top players do is they really look at the computer games, computer versus computer, which sounds kind of weird, but it does make some sense, some weird sense. Okay, he's trying to push his pawns up the board. I'm trying to win this pawn. Sorry. And I will manage, but it's still not a really great position there. How do I do that? Takes... Yeah, the bishop tends to be better in this type of position with passed pawns. Yeah, health food store. Maybe that's also a word. I don't know. I really have no idea what it is called in English. So what is this exactly? My back rank looks absolutely terrible, but I don't see how he uses it. Rook somewhere. If I cannot take and cannot take, maybe I can approach king f8, rook e7. Yeah, the bloody a pawn. I know the a pawn is a problem. Takes bishop b7, a6 knight b5. Maybe looks very difficult. At least my king is relatively active, so maybe I can do something. Yeah, but probably not, huh? Now I played this badly, right? I really played this badly. He's got 14 seconds. Oh, okay, at least I think I'm getting a draw at least. Okay, so let's see. Can I win? No, probably not, right? I can win on time, but I don't really think I can do something on position here. Knight back to a7. I can go here. Maybe knight to b4. No, going back is not going to work. Tja. Oops. Okay, it's a draw. Okay, I can have a draw. Sorry, what is? And now I ran out of time. Wow, that was funny. Okay. Let's see. I didn't really had a look there. It was a draw. I tried to find a win, but I didn't find one. Okay, so I'm going e4 now, yeah, for a change. So, which tournaments do you plan on playing this year? Yeah, it's easy. I'm going to play a small tournament, actually, played or organized by my own chess club, the beginning of May. This is not a very spectacular event, it's just a local event, but it's by my own club, so I'm going to participate. Then I'm going to play an open tournament in Poland in July, which is certainly interesting. Never been to Poland, so curious. Okay, we have this must be right here, c4. He lost lots of time there and now opened up the position, so I really have a hard time to believe that. Should be tricky for black. Knight c3, I guess, or I can start with capturing and then knight c3. It's probably both good. Let's start with taking. There was a question about correspondence play. Yeah, well, I don't really know. I mean, nowadays correspondence play mostly means who's got the better computer, or who's better in better with handling the engine, and I don't see much point in that, really. It was a very interesting thing in the past, of course, but nowadays I don't see the point. It's mostly a waste of time. What is this? I can check here, right? I can also start with knight d5. Yeah, let's start with this. This looks rather problematic for black, to put it mildly. Yeah, black's king looks looks very shaky. So let's check. Knight f6, no. I can also check on h5, or I can check on a4. They all do make some kind of sense. Checking here, bishop here. It's not going to win. But the check here, that looks really problematic, right? Knight g6. I can check on a4, king f7. I don't know if bishop g6 is winning. It doesn't seem so convincing. I'm not seeing a clear win in this position. Amazing. This isn't so clear. Okay, maybe I should have done something different. This doesn't look totally clear. Really isn't. Bishop h5 maybe wasn't so great. Okay, so I wanted to go here. for possible knight e5, queen d3. It's still not easy at all for black to play this, but it feels like I should have had something better. I really should have had something better. There's a question about the Ruy Lopez, why white is going for that. Yeah, bishop b5. It does have a number of points. In the Ruy Lopez, you keep the tension far more and far longer than in many other lines in the Ruy. Sorry, in the open games. Sorry, yeah, like in the Italian game, for example. And this is why it is played so often. It's no coincidence that nowadays the Berlin defense, the Berlin Wall, is so popular, because there black very often gets to remove the important e4 pawn quickly. I'm just taking this, right? Huh, I don't know what is this. Okay, it still was good for white, I think, but I probably should never have allowed him to castle. Yeah, multicast is a mystery. I don't know. He was labeled as a comp, then labeled back as a human. You never know. It's tricky. Someone says that Iliana also was an engine. This is possible. She was, or this handle always was very slow, but I'm also slow sometimes, and I'm not an engine. You never know. Okay, queen to b5. Huh. I don't want to trade queens, really. I would like to have the knight on d3, but I don't see how. Yeah, that's not something that I particularly like to play. Trying to use the knight. It's equal material, right? Maybe I should have taken. I don't know. Maybe I should have taken. Bishop d4 is a move. Okay, didn't go for that. Totally misplayed that. From that opening, it's really disgusting that I didn't manage to refute this completely. The opening was a total disaster, right? That I didn't win outright is kind of embarrassing. You definitely have an increased heart rate if you play those quick time controls. It definitely happens, but it's not like I'm on 200 or something. It's not really important enough to get to that. Not sure what he's doing here. This looks a little like a strange way of playing, but it's still okay for him, of course. Still a draw. It is a draw, right? Is there some way for me to win? I'm getting there, right? So it should be a win. Let's check. Yeah, I have to. G3, H3 is winning. Yeah, and that's it. I'm going to win the G pawn. Wow, so I win this after all. This wasn't really deserved. I should have refuted the opening. Yeah, the Berlin defense to the Roux is really an opening. You know, it has this boring reputation, and this is not entirely unjustified. It is sometimes really a bit boring if you watch it in Grandmaster chess, but this is also because they have such great technical play. If you like positions that are rather simplified, yeah, not this kind of not crazy chess, you know, then this is not a bad idea. Yeah, if you and you can play it with very little theoretical knowledge. What is this here? He's not playing this guy. Ah, this is Daniele Vocaturo. Funny, this is a good GM. He's almost a 2,600 player. I played him in Bilbao last year in the European Club Cup. But he's really low rated here for a good GM. Surprising. Okay, we have some kind of reversed or some kind of Tarrasch defense. What is this? I can take here, right? Queen takes, knight d5. Yeah, okay. This looks really not like much to write home about for white. Queen a5. Queen a5, queen b6 maybe. I can always claim that I have this bishop there on g7. That looks nice. Knight c6. Yeah, let's trade stuff. This is equal. This is probably equal. Oh, I forgot to take on c3. Okay, I really forgot that I wanted to take there. I hope this doesn't come to bite me. Yeah, the c6 pawn is weakish. If I go rook d8, there's queen c3 check. Okay. So... oh, that's not a good move. I don't think so. Really? Long castles? I don't believe in that one bit. My attack should be something here. I have the b file here. How is he playing this now? c5, c4 is also in the mix. c5, bishop d5. Yeah, that's good for black. c5, c4. Or a5, a4. That both seems fine. That's a question. Which top player, in your opinion, plays most consequently for a win, no matter the color or tournament situation? I don't know. If top player means like top 10, it's difficult. I mean, they're all very professional about the games. And there are some people who really go for, go all in every game. If you are looking at, let's say, top 40, top 50, like Richard Rapport, for example, from Hungary, he's playing funny openings and what is he doing here? I mean, this is a very tricky situation, I understand, but you have to move at some point. Of the top 10, I think, Rapport is really fighting like a madman. Yeah, he always has wacky openings. And there are some people below that. Yeah, here I can take and play c4. That was my idea. Or the immediate c4. This is maybe even better. A player who's, for example, very interesting to watch and he's not very much in focus is Grandmaster Nicepiano. He's now playing for the German Federation. Formerly played for Romania. He's a big fighter. He's always playing open events and he has to win games. and he's really playing interesting fighting chess. Also Neidich, yeah, if we look for German players, he's also fighting, yeah, in almost every game. So there are many players there. But Carlsen, Nakamura, they definitely try to win their games, yeah. It's not that they play boring stuff. Absolutely not. Yeah, Arnold is still a very strong player, absolutely. Okay, so I thought Queen e4 here, maybe. But there are many good moves. Queen somewhere to a2 would be great. But let's do this. It's not bad. Queen c2, Queen e5 is definitely good for black. Not quite sure how good, but it is good for me. There's Queen a1 now, c3 and Queen a5 in the game. So I'm going to take here for Queen a3 check threat. The white king is just far too open. Long castles wasn't a really great idea, as I said. So let's get everything in the game. Okay, so don't tell me I'm not winning here. Yeah, that would be crazy. Queen c3, rook b1, and Queen a5 in other cases. Queen a5, right? Queen a2 also wins. Queen a2 maybe? Come on, let's go Queen a2. For Queen e2 check. Yeah, Vichy is still a force, definitely. I mean, he lost those 2 matches against Carlsen, but well, this is nothing particularly. I mean, everybody loses against Carlsen, yeah. And there's nothing particularly bad about that. So I got a win in this final game. I think this long castles move was kind of very risky. Okay, so we are already through here. Funny. Funny, it always time flies. Okay, I'm promising a funny session next week. Yeah, on April the 27th, I think. Trying to do some unusual openings for my game. Yeah, I'm not playing fishy stuff. Don't get me wrong, but I'm trying to do something else. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Some good games and some good chatter. I hope you enjoyed my bantering and and stuff that I was speaking about. Thanks, guys. Up to next week.